Have you ever thought about teaching what you know, creating a course, or finding a way to serve more people without burning out and without having to trade time for money by being in clients' homes as your only source of income? Then today's episode is for you. In today's episode, I'm joined by Jasmine Jonte, who helps creators and service providers create online courses to share their knowledge with more people. Together, we talk about what it could look like for professional organizers to take the skills and experience that you already have and turn it into something that goes beyond one-on-one client sessions. So if you've ever wondered how teaching what you know could open new doors in your business, then this conversation is going to give you a lot to think about. And before we dive in, I also wanted to remind you that this is my birthday month and I'm running a special inside of the Pro Organizers Academy. So if you've been thinking about taking the next step in your organizing business, whether that's learning how to start your business, how to build your website, how to work with clients as a professional organizer, or my most favorite so far and my newest, how to simplify your marketing as a professional organizer, then you can get $100 off any course in the Academy in the month of March. So use the code BIRTHDAY in all caps when you check out and go to proorganizersacademy.com to see all the courses and grab the one that's right for you. All right, let's dive into this conversation with Jasmine about how to stop trading time for money and start scaling your expertise as a professional organizer. I'm Samantha Brown, professional organizer, decluttering specialist, and business coach. I created Pro Organizers Coach podcast to empower you to reach new heights in your business. I am on a mission to build a supportive sisterhood of passionate professional organizers. So whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just getting started, this podcast is for you. Hey friend, welcome back to the Pro Organizers Coach podcast and YouTube channel. Today we are talking about, are you ready to quit trading time for money? I know I am. I'm always looking for something that can help me to not have to constantly be there doing something, even as an organizer. And so today is a conversation you are definitely going to want to grab a pen, some paper, and take some notes, because I have Jasmine Jonte, and she has created an entire company around helping people take their expertise and turn it into courses, all the things that you don't have to keep trading your time for money. So thank you, Jasmine, for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I am kind of an organization nerd myself, so I feel like I'm among friends.
Very much so. Yes, all of us. I love it. So yeah, will you tell everyone a little bit about like just your business, how you got into this, and then we'll go straight into how we can help these ladies stop trading their time for money.
Sure thing. Yeah, I mean, I come from a teaching background, so I taught in the lowest performing school in the country at the time, which was in Detroit, Michigan, and I taught kindergarten and first grade. And I quickly learned how to make teaching simple and fun, right? You have kids, so you know, like when they're at that age, you're kind of forced to learn how do we make this thing we're about to do simple and fun. But I got burnt out. It was a really tough place to teach and made my way into the online space like many entrepreneurs do. You know, we're doing one thing, we realize, oh, I want to work for myself. And through ups and downs, I came to this place of recognizing my teaching skills actually are the foundation for building a business that helps other people teach, right? And
Yes.
now that's what we do. So we help any kind of expert, and I would consider any kind of organizer, especially organizers, like I would consider them an expert in a skill, right? And now the question is, how do we take that skill and productize it so that you can help other people learn that skill without you having to be in front of them to have them get it and get the results and see the transformation. So that's the gap that we aim to fill every day for our clients. Yeah.
That's awesome. And actually, I would say probably 40 to 50% of my listeners that become organizers are actually teachers. So you are also there among friends. A lot of them are teachers, because kind of exactly what you hit of just that point of like, I want to help differently. I want to help more. I'm getting burnt out, and especially when they start telling you how you have to teach versus, all the things. And as organizers, a lot of us, we, take life coaching skills, we take teaching skills, and that's what we're doing in person is teaching others how to organize, declutter, create systems, all of those kind of things. And so we are definitely experts, even though I would say a lot of my girls are probably like, oh, but I'm not an expert yet. But you are. You are an expert, whether you're the CEO of your own home, whether like there's so many other things that come into being an expert as an organizer than just, oh, I got certified as a professional organizer, or, oh, I didn't go to school to learn this. Yeah, but you did. It's the school of hard knocks. You had to learn it through life.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people discount and discredit their experience, like their lived experience. And really, at the end of the day, that's what the client wants. They don't want someone who's learned this from a textbook but never actually installed, this skill in their life and used it in their life or in other people's lives. So, in the same way that, when I think about like teachers specifically, but any kind of credentialed profession. Like you have to go to school to be a doctor. You have to go to school to be a teacher, college, university. That's what I mean when I say school. They start to believe that education, and having the degree is what gives you the credibility. And in the coaching, consulting, service provider space, it's honestly the opposite. Nobody even cares if you went
At
to
all.
school at all. It's just like, can you get me the result? So, how freeing is that? That as long as you have a heart for helping people and are willing to stick with it until you help someone get what they came for, like you're golden.
Absolutely. Well, and the other thing, so I actually totally believe in courses. I just created my own over the past like year and a half or so. And the very first one I created was how to start your organizing business. And I have added onto it a certificate at the end once you complete the course because it's not even for the clients. It's for the organizer, the woman that's standing there feeling and like a lot of teachers do, but I need a credential. I need a something. And for me, whenever I was starting, there wasn't a certificate. There was through like NAPO, but it was like you had to have like 5,000 hours. And I mean, it was
Mhm.
like crazy how much you had to go through. And so for me, I actually got certified as a life coach. And I remember the feeling that getting certified as a life coach, it gave me that like, my shoulders are back all of a sudden. I feel, it was for me. It wasn't for my clients. My clients have never even asked me if I'm certified ever,
Yeah,
but it helped me get them that transformation. And so as I was creating my courses, I wanted to make sure that there was a certificate that went along with it because it does give you that sense of, okay, now I'm a professional organizer. And it does give you that knowledge of, okay, now I know how to get from point A to point Z, exactly what you said, to get that transformation, get your business streamlined off the ground. And so you can start working with clients.
totally. But the value there, I think, yes, is in the internal validation of, oh, I did something, I completed something. Now I feel like I've earned the right to go out there and help other people with it. But also, it's in like the structure and the
Mm-hmm.
plug and play that comes from learning someone who's done exactly what you want to do, getting those systems, and then straight up just putting it in your business or your life. So, yeah, it's interesting because there is this approach of you don't need a certificate, but it'll make you feel good and probably
Yeah.
help you along the way, but you don't need it, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It's really more for the person going through it rather than that person helping someone else.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other piece that the reason I added the certificate was because a lot of like calling yourself a professional organizer, I think having that word professional in there throws a lot of us off. Which is one of the reasons why I called pro organizers coach pro instead of professional organizer, because that
Softens
word,
it.
yeah, that word professional, it's hard for a lot of us, especially when we are helpers and just the people that we're like, oh, but I've not been taught to do this or and all the things we just talked about. But what I do love about the courses is that it does get you that transformation. And for me, I had to learn and I had to do all of these things myself. And so, exactly for the organizer and the person that's listening right now, is anything that you have learned yourself, whether it's how to do your kids' homework with them, whether it's how to organize a pantry, whether it's like the list goes on and on and on of the things you could create a course on that would get your client from point A to point B. And I do know one of the things that I heard a lot when I was looking into course creation, and you can tell me if this is accurate or not, but a lot of like you'll start hearing the same questions over and over again from your clients. And that's typically something that you can then turn around and create a course about, because then you can send them to the course and allow them to continue to have that experience with you.
Totally agree. Yeah, FAQs are often the easiest starting point because you've answered it enough times that you know the best answer.
Right.
And because it's a really good way to, even if you don't sell it separately, but like you just have an FAQ for your home organizing clients that you work with, maybe in person or one-on-one, whatever the structure is, you can now give them a resource where they can get those FAQs answered ahead of time so that the time they do spend with you is more impactful, right? You're not giving them the generalist knowledge that everyone has a question about. So rather
Mm-hmm.
than, I'm trying to think of an example. So for if we go with the pantry organization, maybe there's like a few FAQs about pantry organization that make sense for every single person, no matter what kind of pantry they have. And
Mm-hmm.
then there's a few, and so your one-on-one client, they watch that video. It supports them in organizing their pantry a little bit, and then they have a one-on-one call with you. But they have something specific about their pantry. I don't know, maybe it's really tall and hard to reach, or I'm just making something up because I don't
Right.
do this,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
But like then they can go deeper with the knowledge and really apply it in a way that's specific and unique rather than this
Yes.
generalist FAQ. So it's a really solid place to start. It's usually the easiest to answer and it's the most relevant content that will allow you to stop trading time for money quickly because otherwise you're just going to have to answer that question over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing too that I love about course creation is it opens us up, because as organizers, a lot of us want to do virtual organizing sessions, but we don't know how to promote it. And we also don't know how to get our like the word out, because a lot of our marketing, like Google, all of that is very localized because we are a local service provider. And so when you start doing things like you said of creating the FAQs and then creating content around that, or creating some kind of like little mini courses or a big course or whatever it is you want to create, all of a sudden, if you set it up correctly as part of your funnel, you are streaming them into exactly what you said. Okay, maybe it's even a freebie at first that just has like a little bit of information, and then that leads to a one-on-one virtual coaching call, and then that leads to maybe them booking 4 or 5 sessions with you to do other parts of the house, or maybe then you actually share the actual course with them. And the course, like for instance, I'm thinking of one of my members. She created I forget what she was calling it. It went straight out of my mind now, but it was like life organizing, or organizing your life, something about organizing your life, like your calendar, your meal prep, that kind of stuff. And so she created a course around that. And because she was able to then start promoting that for her, that's something that then she was able to sell that, even if it wasn't someone that lived 15 minutes away from her. And then she just offered on the back end, like one-on-one calls as like an add-on or a bonus, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's really smart. It completely changes your reach. You go from local to global.
If marketing your organizing business feels confusing, overwhelming, or like the thing that you keep avoiding, then this is for you. Marketing doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it definitely doesn't have to take over your life. If you've ever said, I don't know what to post, or SEO feels like a foreign language, or I feel like I should be doing more, but I don't know what actually matters, you're not behind, you're just missing a system. I created Marketing Made Simple for pro organizers to cut through the noise and show you exactly where to focus. Inside the course, I walk you step by step through how clients really find you, how to talk about what you do with confidence, how to keep social media simple, and how to show up locally on Google without trends, pressure, or the burnout. This isn't about being everywhere or doing all the things. It's about having a clear plan and being consistent. If you're ready to stop guessing and finally feel confident about your marketing, you can learn more at proorganizersacademy.com.
Like,
Yeah.
we have a client, I'm thinking about one of our clients who's more on like the life organization productivity side. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she's a global company. Like Dubai, United States, Asia, like everywhere. Like she
That's
can
amazing.
help people. And no matter where you live, you need organization.
Yeah.
So, and I also just think about like myself as a client, like I'm someone who would hire a home organizer. And I think about, well, some of my best friends are in Florida, Virginia, like places where I don't live. And if they worked with someone who they loved, like that would, of course, I would want to work with that person. But if they didn't have virtual,
Services.
options,
Yeah.
then I kind of out of luck, right? So
Yeah.
I think it opens some things up and it creates, I think, more flexibility for your clients as well in ways that, coming over to the house isn't as flexible. Oh my goodness. And then that means you guys are driving all around town too, huh?
Oh, yeah. Like we do a free in-home consultation. So
Yeah.
we go there and we have to, look at the house, go through the stuff and get an idea. And then then we start booking the sessions. And so then the sessions are 3 to 4 hour sessions, one set per day. And we typically start with decluttering and then we do the organizing. A lot of like my listeners and my girls, we do more session instead of packages. And some of us have teams or just a few assistants, but most of us are a one woman show. And so that's the other piece of this too is the more we can have that income that's coming in that is additional because we are only one person. We can only do so many things.
Yes.
And then, so how does your company, and it's like specifically, because my thought is like, okay, well, if I was going to do, like right now, I'm working on a marketing course, right? Because I started with like how to start your organizing business. Then I created a template for your website. Then I
Mm.
created how to work with clients because I feel like that came next. But now I'm at the course that I'm really excited about and that everyone gets stuck on, which is how do I market my organizing business, right?
Oh,
And
always.
so creating that course right now, I'm just curious, like, let's say I were to hire you. What is it that your team does, or how do you partner with the expert to get the courses created?
Yeah, I will absolutely answer that. But Samantha, can I backtrack one step to share
Yeah,
something?
please.
I, because you mentioned that you have folks who have a team and then folks that don't. And you're right. Like when we're in solopreneur land, we have options. We can hire a team to do the service for us, or we can diversify our services that allow us to stop trading time for money. Like there's multiple ways to go. The power I find in having any kind of curriculum or program that is training your method is yes, you can give it to clients, but you can also use it to train your team.
Thank you. Yes, because that's the other thing that I was gonna create. I love courses. I was gonna create a course on like how to essentially how to teach assistants with the thought in my head, okay, my girls, any of my ladies that are listeners, they can use it for their assistants, but I could also give it to the people that help me to, make sure I'm training them in a way that I want them to work with the clients and what's expected of them and all of those types of things. So
Hmm.
absolutely a thousand
Yeah.
percent.
Yeah. I think it's when you start to see how, and especially like the teachers listening will resonate with this. It's when you understand the unit plan, like the big picture, the end-to-end service that you provide, and what are the touch points that need to happen at every single stage. And you have that documented and trained with checklists, like all of a sudden you now have a business that can, or at least has the potential to operate without you. Like I run honestly, I wish it was less complex, but a very complex course creation agency with
Right.
over a dozen team members. And like, if we didn't have that, I don't have all the SOPs for everything we do. All right.
Yeah.
But like the master fulfillment doc of like, here is our process, here is how we work, here is how every single little touch point and button that needs to be hit at every single point of the journey. Like, that's the only way I can go on a 2 week vacation and everything's fine.
Right.
you know
Right.
so yeah, I can't emphasize it enough for you can use it in multiple different ways. Repurposable, I suppose, is the right word.
Yeah. 1,000%. And you have to be
Yeah,
able to do that in this day and age with everything else that we have going on in our lives.
totally.
And because even like for me, when it comes to like a VA or it comes to, anybody that's helping you in your business, sometimes they don't work out. Well, then if you don't have those things written out of like, okay, well, what did we do and how did we do it? The next person that comes along, then you're sitting there going, wait, how did we do that?
Or and then you have to step back in.
Right. And then you have
Yeah,
to be the one to grab it back and be like, okay, let me do this.
yeah,
And delegating is like the number one thing that I know all of us have trouble with and releasing that control, but it's also the thing that's going to allow us to scale long term.
yeah. And if as a home organizer, your systems are going to be better than most. So if anyone should not fear delegation, it's you guys.
Yeah.
Because you're
Right.
like you have this natural skill set of organization and then explaining that organizational system, which is what people need to be successful. So,
Yeah.
for what it's
A
worth.
thousand percent.
And then to answer your other question, yes, so we have a done for you course creation agency. And what that means is we work with experts and we pull the wisdom and knowledge out of their brain. And then we develop all of the assets related to any kind of program design and program build. So some people think of that as like a self-paced online course, which I know you have some of those, but also like group coaching programs, certification programs, licensing, all kinds of things. And for our process, first we look at what a client has. So sometimes they have a body of work like in a Google Doc, or they've taught some presentations, but it's kind of all over the place, right? So that's step one. Step two is we clarify their offer. So we understand exactly what they're selling, who it's for, and what's the marketing plan. Like we pull that in place before we design any of the actual curriculum. Then we move into architect, which is when we map out the course outline and the framework, which is largely your IP, like as an expert. What sets Samantha Brown apart from all of the other pro organizers or just home organizers in general out there, right? We
Right.
refine that IP. Um, the third or fourth step, I can't remember which number it is the build phase where we interview clients, we pull all that wisdom out, and then we develop the video scripts, the slides, the workbooks, the AI tools, like any kind of asset we would need before we then move to video, which is what it sounds like, doing all the video recordings and then uploading it into the course portal and platform and making sure like the clients have an onboarding experience. So, that's primarily what we are known for and what we do. In teacher speak, that's curriculum and instructional and learning experience design. And you have to layer on top of that digital marketing, marketing strategy, offer creation, because you can be the best curriculum designer in the world, but if you don't know what's going to sell, what the heck did you just design curriculum for, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's us. That's what we do.
I love it. And so, I mean, I think that's great. Like that, so it doesn't matter what the expertise is. It's literally like you can, because you already have your, like you said, your SOPs of how you do it. The same way we have our systems for how we work with clients in person. It's just taking that and then flipping it and figuring it out on the other end. When it comes to the marketing and that kind of stuff, do you all typically use like social media, like those types of things
You,
to Oh, I was just to say to like market the course. Is it up to the like, or do you guys help create the course and then it's up to the person to implement that part of it? Or
the marketing, so in the clarify, which is our marketing phase, there's like three assets that we generate. And the first is what's the brand map? So what are all of the offers and what is the inbound and or outbound ecosystem? Usually when people come to us, they have something to work with. Like they're sold out service providers. They're booked out and they're like, I gotta stop. Like I need some kind of other leveraged offer because my calendar is maxed out. So they're getting those leads somehow.
yeah.
Like it could be Instagram, it could be social, it could be referrals, whatever. So we work with what they have and then we build on that based on where we know the audience is hanging out. Sometimes that's social media, sometimes that's ads, sometimes that's like going to events and sponsoring booths because again, we work with all different kinds of experts. We're not specialists in terms of marketing, meaning if
Hmm.
someone asked me like what is a very highly strategic LinkedIn newsletter launch campaign, I would not know.
Yeah.
But our team and there's a couple CMOs on my team specifically know enough and have a very wide array of experience that they can say you should do a LinkedIn launch campaign.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
So we map out the brand and then we map out what is this offer that we're creating, what's included, what's the big promise, what's the price, what's the guarantee, etc. We map out that offer, which you can think of as like anything that goes on a sales page, you know?
Yeah.
And then the final piece is the marketing plan, which we do focus based on which channels are we targeting? Is
Mm.
this again, what social channel, what paid channel, what potential affiliate traffic channel, etc. So they know what their 3 and 6 month outcomes are inside of that plan. And now they just get to execute.
Do you ever do you ever have people that go through the whole process, create it, and then don't follow through with the execution of the marketing plan?
I used to,
Okay.
not anymore. Not
Okay.
anymore. Yeah, I think part of it is positioning around like we give them a marketing plan and we have to pace them to understand like you're not going to get all of this done in a quarter. Like it's just you're just not.
Right.
So then it's the coaching around what feels achievable and realistic for next quarter and how can we think about that incremental growth because everybody like wants that whiz bang multi six figure launch out the gate. And the
Yes,
truth
that's
is
why I was asking.
like that it can happen, especially if you have an audience that's been waiting in the wings for you to launch something. But
Right.
usually that's not the case. And so you have to be committed to the long-term outcome. And I'm just so upfront about it.
Nice.
Like I'm just so
Setting,
upfront about
yes.
it.
Well, and that's great because I tell my ladies all the time, like especially with our clients, set the expectations from the beginning. Like you have to let them know this is what this is going to look like. We're not going to come into your house and in 3 hours have the whole house decluttered, organized, fixed, perfect, Pinterest perfect. Like that's not how this works. And so setting those expectations from the beginning. And the other reason I ask is because I think exactly what you said. A lot of people are, especially with Instagram and shorts and all the things, people are like, "Oh, well it happened 30 seconds on this thing." And then so I find that a lot of people are like, "Oh, I launched my stuff last week, like my website and my all my things, but it's crickets now." Well, yeah, because I told you from the beginning, minimum 6 to 9 months of marketing this business and getting out there and telling people and planting the seeds and minimum because you're starting a brand new business like out of from a thought in your head. It's brand new. It takes time for it to grow and for it to like do what it needs to do.
Yeah, and that's why it's the comparison and like social is so hard is because you see people say like, "Oh, I just launched my home organizing business and I did 6 figures in my first 6 months." But maybe they came from an interior design background and
Right.
like had all of the contacts in the
Yeah.
world. Like you can like you know what I'm saying? Like we can't like do this whole comparison thing. It's got to be from where you were to where you are now. And I will say like for the teachers listening, I hear entrepreneurs all the time talk about like how hard entrepreneurship is. And I just think about how teaching was so much harder.
Right.
And I'm just like, this can't be the hardest thing you've ever done. So, on the tough days, just think back to a time that was harder and be like, you know what, actually, like, I got
Yeah.
this. Lock in,
Yeah.
load up, let's go.
Yeah. And it really does. Like it's just a different vibe, right? Like it's a different waking up every morning, having to like set your own pace versus someone else being like, "Hey, you have to be here at 9 or you get written up because you're here at 9:05." Like, there's those little things that for a lot of us, I mean, it is hard sometimes when you're at home and you were like, "Oh, I just want to stay in my pajamas today." Or I just want to watch Netflix. But it's also your mindset. Like the second you can get your mindset around the fact of like, wait, this is helping people, this is helping their families, this is helping, like it's your mindset. And once you can get your mindset on board and then just follow through with the action. But not everyone's meant to be an entrepreneur. But at the same time, even if you're not meant to be a full like entrepreneur, all the things, I know of some people that they like very quickly went from, "Oh, I want to be an organizer," to, "You know what? Actually, I want to write a book," or "Actually, I want to do this other thing." And then that exploded for them. And they weren't meant to be in homes with the clients day to day. They were actually meant to do something else that opened the door to.
Yeah, we can never connect the dots looking forward, right?
Right.
only looking back. And I think too, like I heard this at a mastermind once. Someone said that his biggest breakthrough in the last quarter was that he pretended like he was a hired CEO. Like so many of us are founder
Oh,
CEOs. And so we feel like this is our business and, it shows up for us. And yes, we show up for them, but it's a different mindset to say, well, what if you had been hired by a board to run
yes.
a company and you
How would
had to
you
meet
act
these KP.
differently?
Yeah, like if you were
Yeah.
given these KPIs that you had to hit or you were going to get written up or whatever it is, how would you show up? And I think
Nice.
about that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a huge nugget right there. Like that alone was just worth listening to the episode because it's true, right? Like if you again back to your mindset, but if your mindset is, hey, how would I show up for this business essentially if it wasn't mine and it was, someone else's company, because I'm the same way, right? Like and especially a lot of us that are in the helping fields, we kind of are people pleasers a lot of the times, right? Like we have to learn how to get a backbone, we have to learn how to quit people pleasing. That's a very common theme in the community with the women I work with. And I had to do the exact same thing. Like I had no backbone. I love to people please, say yes to everyone else, say no to myself kind of thing. And so that's interesting because it almost opens up that side of how I'm naturally made to want to help others and to want to please others. And almost like trick your brain into making you go to work for yourself. I love it. No, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
good.
Um, so okay, so with the creation thing, so tell everyone like where they can find you, all of those kinds of things.
Yeah, so I am on YouTube, Jasmine Jonte Creation. If you just Google my name or search my name on YouTube, you'll find it. I'm also on Instagram, Jasmine Jonte, and those are the easiest places to just find where I share wisdom, learnings, case studies, etc. Our website's the same, creation.co. And as far as free gifts, you can check out our guide, which is called 10 Next Level Strategies to Make Your Program as Binge-Worthy as Netflix. And I
Ah,
actually I actually just added a custom GPT so that you can take a quick like Cosmo style quiz and it will tell you things that you should consider for a program that you already have or one that you're going to build. So you don't even have to like open or read the guide. You can just talk to the GPT and it'll give you all the
ooh,
personalized info
fun.
for you. Yeah.
I was wondering why, and that actually caught my eye because I saw that it was like creation.com/Netflix was your freebie. And
Yeah.
I was like, slash Netflix, what does that have to do? So that
Yeah.
explains it. That's why.
Yeah.
And I'll put all the links in the show notes for sure. So on YouTube, do you do like 10-minute tips or what is it that you're doing on YouTube?
I do once a week episodes. They're usually 15 minutes or less. And yeah, it can be anything from like super practical, tactical, like here's how you install a testimonial system into your course, right? Or it can
Yeah.
be like more broad and talk about offer creation tips and strategies. So really it's for the expert who is ready to stop trading time for money and enter this new industry of using their expertise to create a leveraged offer.
I love it. Yeah, you guys should definitely go check out her YouTube channel and subscribe, give her some love because it is so hard to get some subscriptions on YouTube sometimes, especially when I'm sure you're not I'm more niche than you are because you can help any expert. But when you are so niched in, like and I get probably at least 2 to 3 emails per day of people, I can help you grow your YouTube SEO. I can help. And I'm like, leave me alone. I'm happy with my YouTube. Like I'm talking to a very specific group of people. Not everyone wants to start an organizing business. But yeah, definitely because the algorithm, unfortunately, is set up to where it's not quality, it's quantity. Like how many subscribers you get, how many likes, how many comments. And for what I do, and maybe even for what you do, I'm looking more for the quality, like the people that are truly ready to do the thing and that, or at least interested in it, not just like browsing and decided they like cats, so they're going to subscribe to my channel because I show cat videos or whatever.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's a different intention for doing YouTube. It's to provide value
Yes.
to people who could use your services in the future, which is different than just public mass entertainment appeal. Like no Mr. Beast over here. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, no joke. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been such a pleasure. And then, like I said, all of the links will be in the description below. You guys go give her some love and check her out, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Pro Organizers Coach podcast. Go to proorganizerscoach.com to find all the ways that we can help you succeed in your business. Remember, you have the power to make a difference in people's lives through decluttering and organization. So keep honing your skills, embracing those challenges, and fostering connections. Girl, you've got this.